So you've just ranked up and the new lobbies just don't feel right. You're either dying in ways you never have before and you want to learn new skills, but you aren't sure what you're lacking. This is how to adjust to new lobbies after ranking up, and each skill you need for every rank, all the way to Unreal. But let's start with the foundation, and I'll zip through these lower ranks since most people are stuck somewhere in the middle or top of this curve. But you need to know these lower ranked skills, and I promise I'm not going to baby these down. They all build on top of each other. Bronze, silver, and gold is where you need to learn proper aggression. These lobbies are where you have to be aggressive and learn what works, because in later lobbies, you won't be able to do this. All your theory and testing should be done in these lobbies. Aggression is the hardest skill to learn because you have to walk a very fine line between proper aggression and unsafe arrogance. So do it in these lobbies. And there is a time and a place to learn endgames, placement, and pacifism, but it's not here. And also, each rank after this I will go over separately, but for these three, you just need to learn one skill, and that's aggression, so I'm putting them together. Bronze, silver, and gold ranks are very similar in the players you're going to face, and you might even face some bots. These lobbies are filled with lower skilled players who you can use as practice. The things to focus on are practice boxing them up, taking walls, and phasing into their boxes. Many people are too scared to learn these tricks, but now is the best time to. And even if you die early, that's okay. You might lose 10, 20, 30, or 40% if you keep dying, but eventually, after enough trial and error and YouTube videos watched, something will click for you and you'll get like a 10 to 20 kill game. And after that clicks for you, you'll get like a 50 to 70% game from that and you'll rank up. So don't even worry about losing that 10, 20, whatever percent in these lobbies. But on to ranking up into platinum. And if you're waiting on an item shop drop or just waiting to buy the battle pass, please use code reidtheninja. But in platinum lobbies, you need to be comfortable with the three major build pieces: floor, stair, and wall while in a build fight. You need to have these three pieces down like it's muscle memory. In platinum, with excellent knowledge of these three major builds, you can still get easy high kill games without really needing to know how to use the cone. Because with these three, you are able to protect yourself without adding a cone into the mix. So if you're just trying to get out of platinum, work on your fundamentals and don't get so bogged up on learning this cone. I'd say the only placement you should know is putting it under your feet in a box so the enemy doesn't slide rampant. But again, this would only be if you're boxed up. You don't really need to use it in a build fight in this rank. Of course you can, but here I just work on the muscle memory, a little creative, but mostly work on game sense. In a platinum lobby, if you are more knowledgeable than your opponent and you can hold your own in a build fight, you'll rank up. Being perfect with 3 out of 4 builds is better here than adding something you're uncomfortable with in the mix and accidentally getting slammed after misplacing something. So of course you can use the cone if you're good at it in this lobby, but it's really not needed, and that's what I'm trying to say. If your goal is to just get out of plat, then you don't need to worry about it. But if you want to get higher than that, you should treat this lobby as the same category as a bronze, silver, or gold lobby and work on theory and testing. Of course, only if you want to get higher and higher in your ranks. So during the course of your platinum and diamond ranks, work on implementing that cone and testing it out, but you don't need it mastered yet. Moving on to diamond though, you need to have your movement mastered. Diamond lobbies, opponents are pretty good, and a lot of them are using these lobbies as practice for piece control. That's why you need good movement. In diamond lobbies, you will start to notice yourself getting boxed more and the enemies getting pieces around you, so you need to be able to dodge these and get out of bad situations with your movement. The thing you need to master is staying on the edge or outside of the nearest building tile adjacent to your enemy. This way, if they try swinging walls around you, you can back up before he boxes you. Just stay backpedaling in a lot of fights here so you don't get boxed. And the same thing on a vertical level. Stay towards the edge of a stair so an opponent can't get a cone or a floor above your head. And those movement tips are more defense focused, but on offense you also need to have unpredictable movement. When opening a wide edit, crouch or jump so it throws off the enemy's crosshair. Same thing when trying to take a wall or phase. Crouch in case they open up a right hand peek and jump to get through a weak wall. These movement tricks don't require learning a whole edit course worth of moves or a whole new building piece in its keybinds. It's just a mastery of a simple mechanic. And like I said, a lot of people use these lobbies to work on piece control, and while you can also do that, I'd still say movement is more important. I notice a lot of players tunnel visioning on flashy builds and edits, and then they'll just get mantled on and slammed. So don't be this guy, be this guy. You should also know the movement items. A little knowledge about these goes a long way. You can get easy kills or save yourself from dying. Know that you can shockwave into people's boxes or take high ground with the season's unique item. For this season, it's the wings, but in the future, it might be something else. And a little tidbit about this season, if you activate your wings, but something is above your head, you won't get that super exposed gliding animation, you'll just fling yourself across map. And on to the big dogs of the ranks now. Elite. By elite, you need to have mastered your cones now. you need to be able to build fight with all 4 major builds and be comfortable with them. Learning how to use cones is the biggest game changer in Fortnite. Truly. Instead of big build fights breaking out that would last 5 minutes, you can just get a cone above their head early and you can stop them from building up. And once you get that cone above your head, you just need to predict where they're gonna go next to pre-box and the fight is already over. Learning the cone in Platinum and Diamond is essential to get past Elite. But again, if you just want to get out of those lower ranks but not necessarily out of Elite, then good movement in 3 pieces mastered is fine. But in Elite, you need to have that cone in your arsenal. Again, the things to work on is getting cones above enemies' heads to stop them from going to height, pre-boxing their next move, and I think a good thing to implement is using high walls too. This just gives you piece control another layer up and will help you in whatever you want to do next. But as you progress from the bottom of Elite into the top of Elite, more and more of your fights need to be turning into box fights. Again, you do this by limiting the enemy's potential to go up, but build fights will waste a lot of mats and gain a lot of attention. And there is nothing worse than fighting a 3rd and 4th party after wasting all of your mats. So bring those big build fights down and keep it more on box fighting levels. On to Champion. Getting through Champion requires a lot of patience, and there are 2 ways to do it, but the first is frowned upon. And before I tell you these, if you've enjoyed the video, please drop a like and invest in the channel for more. Use code reidtheninja in the item shop if you're going to buy the battle pass or get an early item shop drop. But the first method is what everyone tries to do first. They start playing way too passive because they are quote unquote almost in Unreal. And pacifism here sucks, but it is doable. It sucks because this fun game of Fortnite turns into camping, staying in a box, going on your phone waiting for zone to change. It's just boring. And you can play placement doing this, but it won't give you that much. You'll do like 100 games of this to get 1% each time, and then sometimes you'll die early and lose 2%, then you need to spend another 50 minutes in-game across 2 matches, just to get those percentage points back. It's awful. You'll then realize that it isn't working, and you'll get discouraged because after dying early a couple times in a row, you'll have lost some serious percentage. And that's where strategy number 2 comes into play. You need to be implementing this, and that is don't be afraid to lose percentage. Just play these matches to get better, and I know that's not what you want to hear. Be aggressive, take shots, go for bunkers, caches, islands, or whatever is in the game when you're watching this. Just play the game to have fun and be smart. Take smart angles, draw out fights, use hard mats so you don't get sprayed out. Just don't die trying to hide or something like that. And obviously playing like this, if you're not used to it, you will lose percentage at first, but don't worry about it. That's the point. When you think of an Unreal player, someone who got into Unreal rank, you don't think of a camper. You think of little sweaty Timmy. So don't camp. Instead, die a bunch in pursuit of becoming a little sweaty Timmy, and eventually you'll actually get better. Once you get better and smarter, these fights that you're dying to early, you'll actually start to win. These fights will then compile and you'll be getting 5 to 6 kill games in Champion and Unreal lobbies. And these games will actually give you good percentage. No more of the 201% games. Instead, you'll now only have to do like 24 to 5% games and mix in a couple wins there and you'll hit Unreal this season in no time. And finally, how to actually play Unreal lobbies. And it's funny because Champion is actually sweatier than Unreal. Because in Unreal, people just go back to how they played in Bronze, Silver, and Gold. Since you can't drop out of Unreal, they just start keying again. So be ready in Unreal lobbies for super aggressive players and maybe become one yourself. Prepare for people trying to phase into your box and zero ping players ready to take your walls. So make space, make a lot of boxes, and stop overcomplicating Fortnite. I made a video exactly about this topic if you want more depth. Many people think Fortnite has got, quote, too sweaty, when in reality, it's mostly just box fights now. So that video is beginner friendly, as well as includes some more complex tips for those looking for that. Drop a like if you've enjoyed, and invest in the channel for more tips and tutorials. If you're eyeing something in the Battle Pass, please use code reidtheninja, and on that note, I'm signing